Gospels are the first 4 books of the New Testament: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And each of these Gospels present a unique perspective of Jesus Christ. Now, we are going to give an overview following the following aspects. We will look at the audience to which each of these books were written, the key verse or key verses in the book, the time when the book was written. Then we'll look at unique features of each of the Gospels. Now, these are called, the first 3 books, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, are called Synoptic Gospels. Now, synoptic, the word synoptic comes from a Greek word. There is what is called sign, which is S-Y-N, and opsis, which is O-P-S-I-S. So S-Y-N means together, which is sign, it means together. Then opsis means view.
Ati iyi SYN tumalembo twakubala tupiribula chapamo elo opsis ile piribula
kumona view
ukumona.
So now when you put this together, it means to be seen together. It means to be seen together. So in the context of the gospel, synoptic refers to the gospel of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, which are called synoptic gospels because they can be seen together or they can be compared side by side. These 3 gospels share similarities in terms of the content, the structure, and the wording.
Aya mabuku yatatutwatira yalikwata mitandikire yapalana n'emikwatire emilandire yalibako yapalana.
So that's why they are called synoptic gospels.
Ekyo yetirwa kumonekera pamo. So
that they are supposed to be studied together in parallel for you to have a proper view of the life of Jesus.
Aya mabuku yafuayikanga kubebeta ukulaya bebetela chapamo kuti tuinga kwata ukumona kwa Yesu Kristo kwa afikapo.
So that is very, very important for you to understand. So when you hear the word synoptic gospels, you have to just know that it means to be read together, to be studied together, because they are similar in many ways. Let's look at what is called a synoptic problem. So the question is that how did this book become similar if they were written by different people? These books share a significant amount of information. You find similar information is found in Mark, it's found in Matthew, it's found in Luke, sometimes even word by word. So that is what the theologians call the synoptic problem. How did this come about? Because when 2 people write a story, there is no way they can write it. Even if they were experiencing the same thing, it is impossible for the 3 to write something word by word. It means somebody was copying from another person. So now there is a suggestion that has been made, which is called the 2-source hypothesis. Basically means it's a suggestion. It's a suggestion that has been made about this problem. The theologians have said Matthew and Luke must have used Mark as a source. So the book of Mark is considered to have been written the earliest amongst the Gospels. And then when Matthew and Luke were writing, they had Mark with them. So some of the words they actually just copied what they call verbatim or word by word. This is what they call Markan, that's from Mark, Markan priority. That Mark was the first book, and then Matthew and Luke got some information, some of them word by word, from the book of Mark. But then there is a problem, because there is information that is found in both Matthew and in Luke, which are not found in Mark. Similar, sometimes word by word, You find them in Mark, you find them in Matthew, you find them in Luke, but they are not found in Mark. So the question is, where did Luke and Matthew get that information? It's what they call as source Q or Q source. Now the word Q comes from a German word. I don't know how they pronounce it, but I'll pronounce it as I'm reading it. It's called Quelle, which is Queelle, Quelle, which means source. So they say that there is a source, a common source. No one knows what this source. That's why they just call it Q. They say there is a common source. Matthew and Luke were drawing from a common source, which different from Mark. So now let's begin to look at, having given that overview, let's begin to look at the Gospel. Let's start with the Gospel of Matthew.